Hi, good morning. Today, as I sit in this hotel room, I think one critical area that we would do our session is how do you handle the power of touch? Now, power of touch can be in various different forms. It can be a direct touch, it can be an indirect touch. Be very careful as to who touches you, whom you touch, and how much of touch intensities you need to actually moderate. Now, I'm sure my audience or spectators who see it on the other side get a little surprised that what is this power of touch, or what is this touch thing all about? Now, when we meet people in a corporate world, we tend to shake our hands. When we meet people at our home, if there are aged people, etc., in India, there is a phenomena that you touch their feet, so on and so forth. When you eat food from someone else's hand, so there is a pseudo touch that happens. When you do sex with someone and there is an insertion and there is a non-insertion, there is a touch phenomena. So there are various forms of touch that we have. So you have to be careful that touch or any sense of touch is actually a transfer of energy, aura, and vibration. And this is a very important phenomena, that if you're shaking hands with someone, be careful, because there is an energy percolation that happens from the other person to you. That is the reason many of you who have seen me working with them or have seen me in the seminars have seen that I'm selective about shaking hands or touching anyone. And there are scenarios where from distance I just do this just to ensure that I don't touch that person. Even when people touch someone else's feet, as many of you know that there is an energy transfer from feet, the last part of the body. So typically what happens is that now that's external touch. So whether shaking hands, touching the feet, these are where you're touching the skin of that person. And during that energy transfer, there are a lot of energies which are negative actually also goes to that person. However, even at times, if that person is positive and have high vibration, that also goes to that person. So you have to be careful whom to touch and who is touching you. That is the reason in the ancient days, you will see that the saints, sadhus, rishis, munis, they were very careful as to who can touch their feet. They would never allow everyone to touch their feet. So power of touch is so very important. Keep this in mind, because that would determine how much of credit balance or debit move that you are actually doing for yourself. If you are doing sex with someone, be careful as to what kind of vibration that person have. Now, if you have less power of choice there, even post doing sex, you must know how to self-neutralize yourself. Or even after doing sex, if you find that that person's vibration or aura is of a reduced tendency, then you need to refrain back your move aheads, because that is what will actually give a transfer of aura and move. If you are eating food from someone else's hand, you have to know, or preferably try to know, that at what condition that food was prepared. Now that is not a direct power of touch, this is also induced power of touch. So you'll see that if someone cooks with a lot of agitation in mind, lot of anger in mind, lot of distress in mind, lot of turbulence in mind, the energy goes into the food, and if you consume that food without knowing how to neutralize that food, that is not a very good health for you. This, what I'm saying, have lot of meaning and have lot of power to either build or finish your body and thereby your mind. So what do you do in such kind of scenarios? How do you handle your daily life? So if it comes to any of these kind of situations, the most important is that you need to know how to self-cleanse yourself. You need to know how to neutralize the negativity of either that person, the food, the environment, and more and more and more. You need to know how to cleanse your body with either water, fire, or air. If you do not do that at a regular interval, then you will not get energized and you will build a lot of negative ions and your charges will come down. Your charges will only stay and increase if you know how to keep consistent cleansing your body. It's like training. You can't do training once in a while and say that everything will happen. You have to do a consistent cleansing of your body. You have to know how to handle scenarios. You have to avoid those contacts as much as possible which will deplete your energy or transfer your positive energy to someone else. You need to do the basics of life. Since podcasts are usually small enough to ensure that we give an overview, there are many scenarios where we train people as to how they can self-neutralize and how they can run their life to figure out that they are getting into bundles of positive energy. Feel free to reach out to us and book a session where we can guide, coach, and mentor you depending on the situation where you are at this point of time or whichever part of world that you are, where we will train you on a consistent basis as to how you can self-neutralize and how you can ensure that by doing water bath, by doing air bath, or by washing yourself up, you cleanse your body and mind, thereby increasing and enhancing your energy and your power to live ahead. Thank you so much.